Hey everyone, this is my review of Falcon and the Winter Soldier, Episode 5. Alright, so we are almost to the end of the first season of Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and all hail Madam Hydra, right? But before we get to that, let's go over what we liked and didn't like about the episode. Starting off with still the quality of the writing is definitely subpar. It's not what you would expect after a long string of really successful Marvel movies that were, for the most part, really top notch. And to have this kind of second tier subpar writing is disappointing. But at this point, they can't fix it. Is what it is. There's no WandaVision magic that's going to fix everything that's come before in this series. And so I think that's best represented in this episode with what seems like the conclusion to the Baron Zemo storyline. Baron Zemo, we hardly knew you. Because he gets taken away in a not very dramatic fashion to Wakanda. And first of all, that scene, Bucky's holding the gun to his head and then pulls the trigger, but there's no bullets in it. What is that trying to prove? It's just a gimmick for the audience because it doesn't reveal anything about it. Doesn't reveal what they want it to reveal about Bucky's character. Let me say it that way, because I mean, what kind of jerk is it? It's supposed to be like, I'm not a killer anymore, but I'm still gonna, scare you to the point that you think you're gonna die. It doesn't really speak too highly of Bucky's character. I don't think that that's what they want to convey about his character, and so their intentions for the character doesn't line up with who he is, or who they want him to grow into. It's just silly. It's just unnecessary. And speaking of unnecessary, the whole interlude with Baron Zemo from episodes two all the way to 5, it's completely unnecessary. Like, if we took Baron Zemo out, how would the story be changed? The plot itself would not be changed at all. Baron Zemo has done nothing for the plot. All he was supposed to do was help them to get on the trail of the Flag Smashers, but actually he didn't really help that much. Sharon Carter was more help than he was. Sam's contact in the military, I forget his name, he was much more helpful than Baron Zemo. The whole reason for breaking him out was that he was the only one that could help, get on the Flag Smashers, which really isn't that much of a threat. I guess when they find out it's super soldier serum, that's frightening, what it could mean. But whatever, just the fact that they've gone through the trouble of breaking Baron Zemo out for no good reason. He doesn't really help them at all. His presence within the storyline, while I agree, is very fun. I like his character. It's just that within the plot, it doesn't serve any meaningful function. And so now he's been taken away, and it's just so pointless. And that's what's so frustrating to me. But like I said with my last review, let's not focus too much on the things we don't like. I mention them because bringing them up and pointing them out and hopefully getting a lot of attention to them online, not just from me, but from everyone that's reviewing this, will help hopefully prompt Marvel to say, hey, we need to do a better job with this. But that all being said, there were a lot of things I liked about this episode. First of all, shield practice, that looks like a lot of fun. It looks super, super dangerous. I kept thinking about those two kids, his nephews, Sam's nephews, roaming around on their property. And what if they're in the wrong spot and the shield bounces in the wrong direction? And they could be decapitated so easily. It seems so super dangerous and very unlikely that even Bucky, but certainly not Sam, who has no super soldier serum inside of him, would be able to catch it going at those speeds. A hard metal disc that's flying through the air, they're just able to swoop it on. It doesn't make any sense, especially since he's catching it on the straps, right? But it's a concave. Well, I'm going to stop. We're not focused on we're not focused on what is impossible about the show. It just looked really cool. That's what I meant to say. I liked how it looked, and so it's cool to see something that we've seen in the comic books for so long that it's just, oh, he's throwing a shield. You can't do that in a comic. It kind of bounces from spot to spot within a frame, and that's supposed to create movement. And so to see it in real life on the screen so realistically, besides the physics involved, super cool. I dug it. And the new Captain America, who's no longer Captain America, his downfall, which it wasn't, he wasn't at the top for very long. It's a short arc for him, half a season barely, but he's a good character because there is some depth to him. He's not just a cartoon villain like, for example, acting director Hayward. He's a person that has good things and bad things about him, and it's kind of a tragedy what's happening to him and how he's not able to overcome his inferiority complex. But I think that there's something really human about that, about not feeling like you're good enough, and what lengths will you go to, and that's what separates the heroes from the villains, is that the heroes make the right choice when it comes to these types of things, and the villains make the wrong choice. But being able to see the choice and to see that he could have gone in either direction and something was pulling him in the wrong direction, and it wasn't just that it was his innate nature to be evil, that's cool. And to see him go on a journey, that's interesting. So that's definitely one of the things I dug about the series so far. And episode 5, just the end of, not the end, because obviously there's more for John Walker, but to see his rise and fall I thought was really cool. And that brings me to, the big cameo. We finally got a big cameo, a big surprise, and to see Selena Meyer in the MCU, amazing. I hope that I hope that she's just like imagining to herself, what if Selena Meyer were a Marvel villain? And I hope that's how she's going to play it in whatever future movies or shows that she's going to be in, because that will be super amazing. It's great when you have all this power, Marvel has all this power, and they use it to do things like cast Julia Louis-Dreyfus as a Marvel villain. Or maybe like a gray area type, secret agent. Who knows exactly what role she's going to play. Obviously, her character's had a lot of different incarnations in the comics, and so Marvel could go in a number of different directions, and I'm super excited about that. I can only hope that Madam Hydra at some point meets Agatha, because that would be like the best two parts of the series, the best two side characters, or supporting characters I should say. To see them together at some point would be awesome. Well, that's it for my review. I'm not going to try to predict too much for the last episode. Obviously, we're going to tie up the Flag Smashers storyline. They've gotten pretty dark, and so it'll be interesting. There's a lot of dark stuff about the show so far, and so that's pretty cool, actually. All those people fearing what's going to happen with Disney and the MCU. We don't have to worry about that. This show is testament to they're willing to push the envelope. And so I'm excited for the last episode, and I hope you guys are too. Please, if you like or don't like the show, share your thoughts in the comments. Thanks for tuning in, and hopefully I'll see you guys next time.